For centuries, people have asked a powerful question. Why do some societies become wealthy and prosperous, while others struggle to achieve the same level of economic success? The answer is rarely simple or explained by a single cause. It is shaped by history, education, institutions, political conditions, and many other factors that influence how communities grow and develop over time. When this conversation turns toward Muslim communities around the world, it is important to look beyond stereotypes and examine the deeper story. Muslim societies are incredibly diverse, with different histories, economies, traditions, and experiences. Some have developed strong industries, advanced education systems, and thriving businesses, while others continue to face economic challenges caused by a variety of circumstances. Looking at this diversity helps us understand that there is no single experience shared by all Muslim societies. But there is another important part of this discussion that often receives less attention. What does Islam itself teach about wealth, work, responsibility, and economic life? Islamic teachings have a long tradition of discussing trade, entrepreneurship, charity, and the responsible use of resources. Throughout history, these ideas have played an important role in shaping economic behavior in many Muslim communities. Understanding these principles can provide a broader perspective on how faith and economics have interacted throughout history. The relationship between religion and prosperity is not as simple as saying one belief system creates wealth or poverty. Instead, it is about how individuals and societies apply their values, build institutions, educate future generations, and create opportunities for growth. The way these different factors come together often has a greater influence than any single element alone. Throughout history, Muslim civilizations have experienced periods of remarkable economic and intellectual achievement. Cities across the Muslim world became important centers of trade, science, learning, and innovation. Merchants traveled across continents, connecting different regions through commerce and cultural exchange, while helping ideas, goods, and knowledge spread between civilizations. These achievements were influenced by many factors, including geography, leadership, knowledge, and economic systems. They show that the relationship between Islam and economic life has always been complex and evolving rather than fixed or unchanging throughout history. So if Islamic teachings encourage hard work, honest trade, and responsibility, why do some Muslim communities still experience financial struggles today? The answer begins with understanding that poverty is rarely caused by one single factor. In most cases, it develops through a combination of economic, historical, and social conditions that build over many years. Economic challenges can emerge from historical events, conflicts, limited access to education, weak infrastructure, and global market changes. Many societies around the world, both religious and non-religious, have faced similar struggles throughout history. These issues are not unique to any one culture or belief system. One of the most important factors behind economic progress is education. Communities that invest in knowledge, critical thinking, and skill development often create more opportunities for future generations. Education not only prepares individuals for work, but also helps societies develop new ideas and strengthen their economies over time. Islam has traditionally placed a strong emphasis on seeking knowledge. Learning and intellectual development have been considered valuable parts of personal and social growth. Throughout history, scholars, scientists, doctors, and thinkers from Muslim societies contributed to fields that influenced the wider world and expanded human understanding in many areas. However, valuing knowledge in principle and successfully building strong educational systems are two different things. Economic success requires not only respect for learning, but also effective institutions that make quality education accessible. Without those systems, it becomes much more difficult for communities to fully benefit from the value they place on education. This leads to another important question: how do societies turn values into real-world progress? The answer often comes down to systems. A society can encourage honesty, creativity, and responsibility, but it also needs structures that support entrepreneurship, innovation, investment, and opportunity. Businesses need reliable environments to grow. Young people need pathways to develop their talents, Communities need systems that reward effort, encourage long-term thinking, and create opportunities for people to succeed through their skills and hard work. Islamic economic principles include several ideas that focus on fairness and responsibility. Honest trade, avoiding exploitation, helping those in need, and using wealth responsibly are important themes within Islamic teachings. These principles emphasize not only earning wealth, but also managing it in ways that benefit both individuals and society. One example is the emphasis on charity and social responsibility. The concept of helping others and supporting vulnerable members of society has been an important part of Islamic tradition. These values encourage communities to care for those facing hardship while promoting a sense of shared responsibility and mutual support. But charity alone does not solve every economic challenge. Sustainable prosperity also requires productivity, education, innovation, and opportunities that allow people to build stable futures. Long-term economic growth depends on creating environments where individuals can develop their skills, find meaningful work, and contribute to society. This is where the conversation becomes even more interesting. A person can have strong moral values and still face economic difficulties because personal success depends on many factors beyond individual effort. At the same time, societies that create supportive environments can help more people transform their skills and ambitions into meaningful achievements. When opportunities become more widely available, individuals are often better able to reach their full potential. The story of wealth creation is not only about money, it is also about mindset. Throughout history, many successful entrepreneurs and innovators have shared common qualities: patience, discipline, willingness to learn, and the ability to create value for others. These qualities appear in many cultures and traditions around the world. They are often developed over time through experience, persistence, and a commitment to continuous improvement. Islamic teachings also highlight the importance of effort and responsibility. The idea that people should work, develop their abilities, and contribute positively to society has been a recurring theme in Islamic thought. These principles encourage individuals to take responsibility for their actions while striving to benefit both themselves and the wider community. But here is the deeper question: what happens when good values exist, but opportunities are limited? This is where history, economics, and social conditions become essential. A talented young person may have ambition, but lack access to education. A skilled entrepreneur may have ideas but lack financial resources. A community may have potential but face challenges created by circumstances beyond its control. In situations like these, success often depends not only on personal effort, but also on the opportunities and support available. Understanding these realities allows for a more balanced view. Economic development is not about blaming cultures or religions. It is about identifying what helps societies progress and what prevents them from reaching their potential. Looking at the bigger picture makes it easier to understand why different communities experience different economic outcomes. Many Muslim communities around the world are actively investing in education, technology, business, and innovation. New generations of entrepreneurs, researchers, and professionals are contributing to global industries while also drawing inspiration from their cultural and religious values. Their work reflects the growing importance of knowledge, creativity, and international collaboration. The future of any community depends on its ability to combine meaningful traditions with modern knowledge and practical solutions. Preserving important values while adapting to changing circumstances can help create stronger foundations for future generations. And this brings us to a powerful lesson. Wealth is not simply created by having resources. Many places with valuable resources have still faced economic difficulties, while others with fewer natural advantages have built strong economies through education, innovation, and effective systems. History provides many examples showing that natural resources alone do not guarantee long-term prosperity. The difference often comes from how people use what they have. Faith can inspire values. Knowledge can create opportunity. Strong institutions can support progress. When these elements work together, communities have a greater chance of building lasting prosperity. Each one plays a different role, but together, they can create conditions that encourage long-term growth. The discussion about wealth and poverty should not focus on judging entire groups of people. Instead, it should encourage deeper questions about history and possibilities. Understanding these factors helps create more thoughtful conversations about economic development. Because behind every economic statistic are real people with dreams, challenges, and ambitions. Every community has stories of struggle and success. Every society has lessons to learn. Recognizing those experiences reminds us that economic issues affect individuals and families in very personal ways. The most important question is not simply why some people are poor or wealthy. The more meaningful question is, what can individuals and communities do today to create a better tomorrow? The answer may begin with education, responsibility, innovation, compassion, and a willingness to keep improving. Small steps taken consistently over time can contribute to meaningful progress for both individuals and society. The story of prosperity is still being written, and every generation has the opportunity to add a new chapter. The choices made today will help shape the opportunities available for the generations that follow. If you found this discussion valuable, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more thoughtful topics, and share your perspective in the comments. What do you think are the most important factors that help communities achieve long-term prosperity? We'd love to hear your thoughts and continue the conversation.